back and get ready to have the most fun you ever had with an electronic device. All right, everybody, welcome out to the Get On With It Sports Show. It is Wednesday, May the 10th, 2023. Jersey Johnny coming at you with me, as always, is none other than Mr. RadioPete and Mr. Harry Lug Nutz. Say hello, gentlemen.
Don't tell me what to do.
You're not the boss of us.
That's right.
Sort of.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another riveting podcast.
Welcome to another. What do we call this? The fun show? Because the other show's not fun at all, right? It's just...
I don't know. That's what you call it. I try to avoid saying one thing's fun because that assumes the other one
is not, right? Exactly.
And I want everybody to know none of these are fun.
Right. There are a lot of
just serious stuff here.
This is some serious stuff. So, all right. So how are you fine gentlemen on this fine evening?
Fine.
Awesome.
Actually, I came across this. I thought this was funny. I'll make it quick. Statistics don't lie. Average duration of a phone call. Ready? Guy to guy, 59 seconds. Girl to girl, 5 hours, 29 minutes, and 59 seconds. Guy to his mother, 50 seconds. Guy to his father, 30 seconds. Guy to his girlfriend, 1 hour, 23 minutes, and 59 seconds. Mother to married daughter, 10 hours, 50 minutes, and 59 seconds. Husband to wife, 3 seconds. Wife to husband, 14 missed calls. So
nice.
So just don't get married.
That's pretty much.
By the way, does anybody really talk on the phone anymore? Unless you're calling your mother or your father?
Right, it's a text. That's it, right? Yeah. Well, I guess it's what the 3 seconds amounts to is the reading time, or the 3 seconds you speak the text and hit send, and then you're done. You know.
But no, it's just that's when he calls and goes, "I'm on my way home." Hangs up.
On my way home. See you. Bye. That's it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
10 hours for
mother to married daughter.
Maybe there should be a call clock, like the pitch clock in baseball.
Right. Just put like a governor on the phone, right? It shuts
24
off.
seconds shot clock.
Hangs the call up after.
Is that like a newly married? Because I would think the longer the marriage goes on,
right?
If
shorter
the wife
call is.
Well, no, like if the wife answers the phone. And she goes, and the husband goes, "Who's that?" And she goes, "Oh, it's my mother." He's like, "Fuck, I got 10 hours to do what I want."
Yeah, really. That works. That's not a bad thing, though, because then you want them to stay on the phone. All right, I'll be back. Say hi for me.
I'm just gonna run down to the auto parts store.
Yeah, I'll be
just
back.
Gonna cross state. Just gonna cross state lines. See you later.
I'll be back in 6.5 hours.
I'm going to fly down to Florida for a couple hours. I'll be back before you hang up.
They're having a sale on batteries at that place in, I think it's Atlantic City.
Yeah.
The Advanced Auto Parts in Atlantic City.
Right. Only that store, though. No other one.
No, just that one.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're really expensive batteries most of the time.
Most of the time.
Every once in a while, they pay for themselves.
Well, when your mother calls, the price drops. So.
That's right.
Big time. Exactly. So, all right. Should we jump into our just a quickie?
Let's do just a quickie.
Let's do our.
Let's do it quickly.
Let's do our just a quickie quickly.
Let's do it a manual quickly.
A quick manual quickie quickly. There we go. All right, it's Major League Baseball, MLB, just a quickie. I got to ask you. I'm going to start with Harry. Which team will go further this season? Just in general, go further this season. The Mets or the Yankees?
As far as who will go further into the playoffs,
who will be playing longer than the other?
I think the Mets by a hair.
All right. There you go. Pete?
I am going to agree.
And we are all in agreement. Look at that. The Mets will be playing longer this season than the Yankees. There you go. All right.
But I'm also going to agree with by a hair.
By
it's
hair.
going to be.
Oh yeah, no. It's not. They're not.
I don't think either.
Weeks.
One's out in the first round and the other's going to the World Series.
Right.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. We're all in agreement. All right. That was very quick. That was a very quick.
Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it.
I'm not gonna ruin it. We'll just jump right into the quiz. Let's just
there you go.
Jump right into the quiz for tonight. Is 4 weeks ago, we did top Yankees starting pitchers of all time. 2 weeks ago, we did top Mets starting. Actually, 3 weeks ago, so we did top Mets starting pitchers of all time. Tonight, it's top MLB starting pitchers of all time.
The rest of baseball.
It's all of baseball. I did not.
Now, is this exclusive of the Mets and Yankees names we already mentioned?
It's exclusive of those names. Okay. In fact, there's 2 names on here. I'll give you them in a minute. There's 2 names on here that were involved with the Mets and or the Yankees. But they were not on those lists. The rest
Here's
of them were
63, 58 have to stay.
There we go. So write these down. 68, 53 have to stay. There you go. I like that. You got to cut out 15. Let me know what they are. And I got another stats too. Now here, write these down. You know the drill. I'm gonna give you 6, 4 stay, 2 go. Write these down.
I don't have my pen.
Just go. You can remember 5 names.
Yeah.
I really can't.
Here you go.
All right, I got it.
Pete, here you go.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Thanks. All right, write these down. Here we go. Bob Gibson.
Giddy.
Gibson, comma, Bob.
There you go. Sandy Koufax.
Sandra.
All right, next.
The Big Unit.
RJ.
Big.
Comma big. Greg Maddux.
Maddux G.
Nolan Ryan, comma Nolan. Ironically, I do know a Nolan, and his middle name is actually Ryan, which is funny. And I'm sure that was for a reason, but in any event, it's not his last name though.
What's his last name?
Smith.
Nolan Ryan Smith.
Nolan Ryan Smith. Right.
Ryan Colfax.
Nolan Ryan, yeah. Maddux. Nolan Ryan, Robert Gibson Maddux. Okay. And your 6th one is going to be Mr. Burt Blyleven. So you got Bob Gibson, Sandy Koufax, Randy Johnson, Greg Maddux, Nolan Ryan, and Burt Blyleven. Pete.
All right. Well, all right. Maddux is out because he was a Brave.
The good old reasoning.
Yeah,
that's right.
And I don't know. What did Nolan Ryan ever win? I'm gonna get rid of Blyleven, although I'm sure his numbers are better than I have. Well, it's not saying that I don't know his numbers. That's not saying much, but I'm sure they're much better than I would think. But Maddux, you're a punk, and Blyleven, you got your name is spelled weird, so you're out.
There you go.
So we're keeping Gibby, Ms. Koufax, Big Unit, and the Express.
There you go. Cool. Harry?
This is a tough one. I mean, Gibson's got to stay. Randy Johnson's got to stay.
Yep.
Conventional wisdom would tell you Sandy Koufax has to stay, but he wasn't around as long as Maddux and Ryan.
Shortest career of these 6.
He had some great games, and you can't really take away the fact that what did he win 1 or 2 World Series?
2, right? I believe it's 2.
and what, one, two, three Cy Young Award, two Cy Young Awards, two MVPs.
Had some great games.
Had some great games.
It's a bit of an understatement.
I know,
but I agree. This is always the argument, right?
Right.
The longevity. Yeah, I almost took him off, but I don't know. What was it, 7, 8
Maddox
years?
and Ryan. I mean, Ryan pitched way more games. Right, and Ryan, Maddox has a few more wins and a bunch less losses, but their earn run average was about the same. And it's just
their earn run average was almost
Nolan Ryan had 5,714 strikeouts, and if he was on those Atlanta Braves teams, he would have had another 100 wins and 100 less losses.
Right.
So I have to keep Sandy Koufax on there just for his postseason performances. And it's not that Greg Maddux was not great in the postseason. He was. I can't take Bob Gibson off there, and I really can't take Sandy Koufax off there. And it's really hard to take Randy Johnson off there. But if I have to pick between Maddux and Ryan, I'm going to take off Maddux. And that's just crazy. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go with Gibson, Koufax, Randy Johnson, and Nolan Ryan.
So same exact.
So we agree.
You agree? Yeah. Look at that.
So was Blyleven just a red herring or what?
No, he pitched.
Blyleven was great. Again,
23 years.
He won a World Series. He was the best pitcher on that Pittsburgh Pirates team that won. But not as good. I mean, I think he's clearly in sixth place on this list.
Yeah, I mean he is, but it's.
But a top 20 pitcher of all time, maybe top 30 pitcher of all time.
I'd put him in the 20. I put him in 20. Yeah, I'm with 25 at most. I wouldn't go 30, but well, there you go. All right, Bob Gibson, Sandy Koufax, Randy Johnson, and Nolan Ryan. Complete agreement between Harry and Pete. There you go. All right, let's keep it going, chugging along.
How about you? Who would you have?
Same. The exact same.
Same, yeah.
100%. Yeah. Maddox actually, on average, won the most games per season. He certainly had the most wins. Tied with Blyleven for the amount of years he pitched too. For Nolan Ryan obviously was longer than both of them, but yeah, they. It's hard to it's not so much of like what Pete said, like leaving him off because he was a Brave, but it's hard to not pick Gibson, Koufax, Johnson because and Ryan, you can't do it. So yeah, Maddox. Yeah, I'm not leaving Maddox off because I dislike him. I'm leaving him off because I can't take one of those other four guys off.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like even with if you look at like the personality or whatever, right? Like Maddox seemed like a nice, like Bob Gibson was a dick,
Right.
I mean, he was, Nolan Ryan was too, for that matter. Randy Johnson was too, for that matter, in certain aspects. Sure. Maddox was like the nicest guy, right? The professor, quiet, mild-mannered.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a Brave, and that's a strike against him.
This is very
true. I mean, here's the question: if you're having a rotation, then I might have Maddox in there. Bob Gibson's the best out of all of these guys on this list.
Yes.
And, you could argue Koufax and Maddox were pretty close. It's just Koufax had those iconic performances in the World Series. Maddox had a lot of postseason pitching, too, maybe more than anybody else on this list.
And Greg Maddux pitched almost twice as long as Sandy Koufax pitched, too.
Right. And Blyleven won, I think, 2 World Series. And Randy Johnson certainly had some big moments in the postseason. So it's not – there's something about Nolan Ryan that I just think had he been on a different – I mean, this is a guy that would pitch 9 innings every game, get in 3 fights, give up 2 runs, strike out 12, and lose.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Nobody else had the bad luck of never playing on a good team. Nolan Ryan – I can't remember whenever he was on. He was never on a team that was favored to win a World Series.
Yeah.
So,
no, he won one.
Who did he win one with?
The Mets.
The Mets. That's right. How old was he when he was on that Mets team?
21.
Yeah, he was young.
20. Was he?
So it was after that.
Either rookie or his second year. Yeah. All right.
He didn't pitch in the World Series, did he?
I don't think he did.
No.
I don't think he did. No. I can check. Jimmy, get on that. All right. Cool. All right. Let's bring it to our Major League Baseball question of the week. Major League Baseball question of the week. All right. Here we go. 3 weeks ago, it was who will be in first place in the American League at the All-Star break. This week, it's who will be in first place in the National League at the All-Star break. Harry, we'll start with you.
You mean best record of the whole National League?
Best record of the National League at the All-Star break.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to say the Braves. I think it's going to be the Braves.
All right. Pete?
Yeah, I agree.
All right. I am going to be a complete 100% homer, and I'm going to say it's the Mets only because it's probably going to be the Braves, but the Mets are only going to be like a game or two behind them. So anything can happen within a couple of weeks of the All-Star break. The Mets could move in front of them. So
Verlander's coming back. So.
And Verlander's coming back, and hopefully some other. Hopefully the kids will.
Scherzer will have his hands cleaned.
They're talking right, exactly. They're talking about bringing Mauricio up at some point too. So yeah, I mean it's interesting. So there you go. All right, Braves, and Mets. That's what it is. All right. That brings us to the best part, your favorite part, Harry. Certainly your favorite part. Which be a little sarcastic and say it's Pete's favorite part, but of the show, and that is
over under.
We're done already. Yay! The MLB history rapid fire quiz.
All righty.
Rapid fire
quiz. There we go. Start the music up. There we go. Let's throw this up. So MLB history rapid fire quiz. If you remember, 3 weeks ago was the first time Pete didn't lose. He didn't win either. We finished with a 3-3 tie. So could this be the week?
I think it is. I think it's the week.
Mm-hmm. All right. Ready for your first question, Pete?
Of course.
All right. Pete, for your first question, what is 2 plus 2?
Chad Pennington.
There you go. Chad Pennington. There you go. All right. Now, seriously, here we go. All right. Let's kick it off. Pete, question number 1. Ready?
Yeah.
Who has the most saves in Major League Baseball history? Who has the most saves in Major League Baseball history?
I'll say Mariano Rivera.
You would be correct. Mariano Rivera. 652. This guy has the 4th most in MLB history right here.
Francisco Rodriguez.
That would be him.
F-Rod.
That's
the worst of the Rod nicknames, isn't it?
No, it was K-Rod.
K-Rod.
It was K-Rod.
It really was F-Rod.
No, it was F. Yeah, you could say F-Rod. Right. Fraud. Right.
F-Rod.
F-Rod. There you go. All right, question number F-R-O-D. Here we go. Question number 2. Who has the most hits in a single season in Major League Baseball history?
Is this my question or
no? This is Pete's.
Okay.
Who has the most hits in a single season in Major League Baseball history?
I'll say I don't know, Ty Cobb.
Ty Cobb is wrong. Ty Cobb would be wrong. Harry for the steal.
Is it Wade Boggs?
It is not Wade Boggs either.
Really?
Really.
I thought he broke the record.
He did not. I'll give you for no points, but you can shout it out if you know it. I'll give you the amount of hits he had. This gentleman had 262 hits in one season. It's the most hits in a single season in Major League Baseball history.
During the regular season.
And it's more recent than Wade Boggs or Ty Cobb. Well, it's more recent than Wade Boggs. Clearly, it's more recent than Ty Cobb. So,
Ichiro
Suzuki.
Ooh,
Suzuki.
Call.
There you go. All right, that one is nobody's.
Wade Boggs is up there, though, isn't he?
Yeah, no, he's up there. He's in the top.
I thought
for
some reason, I thought he broke it.
You know, Ichiro broke his. If that's the case.
Okay, maybe that's what it was.
All right, Pete. Question number 3: Who has the most career complete games in Major League Baseball history? Who has the most career complete games in Major League Baseball history?
Cy Young.
Cy Young would be correct. Very good. All right. 749 complete games.
Yeah, a little different. No one's ever gonna beat
That's
that.
a record that will never ever be broken. 700. Most pitchers don't even pitch 749 games anymore.
There had to be something funky going on there.
Yeah, he pitched every other game.
Yeah, pretty much. He pitched like 3 times a week.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just
instead of once a week, 3 times a week. 749 complete games. There you go. All right, you're up, Harry. Ready?
Yes.
Here we go. Question 1: Who has the most no hitters in Major League Baseball history?
Oh. I think it's Nolan Ryan.
Nolan Ryan would be correct. 7 no hitters. There you go. So that's Harry's. All right. Question number 2, Harry. Who had the most seasons with 200 plus hits in Major League Baseball history? The most
200 plus hits.
Over 200 hits, the most amount of seasons in their career in Major League Baseball history. Who had the most seasons with 200 plus hits in Major League Baseball history?
See, I'm getting this confused with the most hits. I think it is Ichiro.
That would be correct. Ichiro Suzuki. Very good.
And did he pass Pete Rose or did he tie Pete?
Well, you just screwed me up for a little bonus for Pete, but
why does Pete get a bonus?
Well, he wasn't going to get a point. He was just going to get a bonus question. Who is he tied with?
All right.
Who was Ichiro tied with?
Chad Pennington.
Chad Pennington. Right?
Radio Pete Rose.
Radio Pete Rose. I like that. Radio Pete Rose. There you go. All right. That's 2. And question number 3 for Harry. Who has the most career doubles in Major League Baseball history? By the way, career seasons with 200 plus hits, Ichiro and Pete Rose, 10 seasons.
10 each?
10 each. Whatchamacallit, Derek Jeter has 8, actually. So
I thought Derek Jeter had a lot.
He had.
I mean, I don't think I would have
answered
Derek Jeter, but
yeah.
But I knew he had a lot of fucking guy.
All right. Once again, Harry, who had the most career doubles in Major League Baseball history?
I think it's one of these older players that I can't remember the name of, but I'm going to say Pete Rose, even though I don't know if that's correct. But I think it's... I can't think of the other guy's name, but I'll say Pete Rose. I think that's wrong, though.
Pete Rose is wrong. So, There you go. Pete for the steal and the win.
I'll say, how about Stan Musial?
Ooh, good guess. Very good guess. However, it's wrong. He's up there, though. Stan Musial's up there. That was awesome. That was an awesome guess. So neither of you got it. I'll give you the amount of doubles in his career just for S's and G's. See if you can get it. 792 career doubles.
How many did Rose have?
Less.
Was Rose second or third?
791.
791, yeah.
What team?
Hold on.
It's not Ty Cobb.
792. Pete Rose is second with 746. So you were damn close. Stan Musial, by the way, Stan Musial had 725.
Yeah, I want to say Ty Cobb, but it wasn't Ty Cobb. It's somebody else who's on the tip of my tongue, and I can't.
Ty Cobb had 724.
Yeah, it's definitely a black. It's somebody whose picture is in black and white.
There are only 4 players to have more than 700 doubles in their career, and that would be Ty Cobb, Stan Musial, Pete Rose, and this guy who's number 1 on the list with 792.
What team did he play for?
Well, let's see. He finished his career with the A's.
The Philadelphia A's, I'm sure.
That would be correct.
Even before that, yeah.
Philly was the first. It was Philadelphia A's, then they went to the Kansas City A's, and then they were the Oakland A's. He started with the Red Sox.
Yeah, I was going to say, somebody in the
Red Sox, Indians, Senators, then the A's. He was also a manager for the Indians.
Yeah, what the hell's his name? Old fucker. God damn it.
That is his name.
Speaker. Bob Speaker or
Tris Speaker.
Tris Speaker. There you go.
Tris Speaker. There you go.
Tris
Speaker.
Name.
Harry got his last name. Pete got his first names.
I think that's a tie.
That's a tie. Well, you were tied anyway because you both guessed it. So, so we end in another tie, 2-2. Look at that.
Excellent.
All right.
Tris fucking Speaker. Who the hell is ever going to know that?
Speaker, yeah.
Tris Speaker. Well, I mean, it's the record. It's only 4 people. What was his nickname? Anybody?
Honus Wagner.
Honus Wagner was Tris Speaker's nickname.
The old ball Red Sox.
Tristram Edgar Speaker. His nickname was the Gray Eagle.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Well, he was like a really good player. I mean,
really good player.
Right?
But he's an obscure name.
Right.
It's like Nap Lajo, or
Lefty Grove.
Who is the other really good pitcher? Christian
Mathewson. Matt Mathewson.
There you go. Yeah.
Christy Mathewson. Yeah.
Those are the names that what was I think it was the old Nintendo game was Baseball Stars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they had like the World All Stars, and you see the pitchers were named like Lefty and Christy and Cy.
Right. That's right.
And you had to
Shoeless Jim.
Yeah.
Instead of Shoeless Joe.
Shoeless Jim, right there you go. So there you go. All right, cool. Good quiz.
Yeah.
Once again, we got a tie. So 2-2 this night. So,
All right.
I'd say 2.5 to 2.5.
2.5 to 2.5. We'll call it that. 2.5 to 2.5. Weird fact. I just want to throw this out there. Because we had the Nolan Ryan question tonight with the no hitters. 3 weeks ago we had Roger Clemens. So this is a weird fact. Listen to this. Nolan Ryan threw 7 no hitters in his career and never won a Cy Young. Roger Clemens never threw a no hitter in his career and won 7 Cy Youngs.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a weird fact I wanted to share with you.
Well, that's the difference between What would
Here we go.
Ryan have been used? Ryan would have used
Here we go.
greenies, I believe they would have been called back in the
Greenies,
day, versus the old needle.
There you
Yeah.
go. There you go.
Here we go.
Here we go. All right. That brings us to our top five. Remember when we did top 10s? Remember when we added an hour to the show?
Those were the
Remember that?
dark
Those were the
days when we
dark
did
days
top
of
10.
podcasts.
Yeah.
There you
The top 10,
I'm not even going to discuss my top 5. I'm just going to let you
Top-
put them up there, and that's it.
top 10 to 17 is what it was.
Do you have them
Yeah.
written out or no?
I got them written out. I'll put them up for you. I'll read them off. We can discuss.
Excellent.
I'll read them all up, all three of us, and then we can discuss them afterwards. That's that.
All right.
All right. So tonight's top 5 list is top 5 first overall NFL draft picks since the year 2000. Top 5 first overall NFL draft picks since the year 2000. All right. We're going to go with Pete's first. Pete starts out with his number 5 is Alex Smith. His number 4 is Myles Garrett. His number 3 is Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck is Pete's number 3. His number 2 is Matthew Stafford. And Pete's number 1 first overall pick in the NFL draft since the year 2000 would be Mr.
Also Matthew Stafford.
Elisha Manning. Elisha Nelson Manning, to be exact. There you go. Eli Manning. All right. Harry's pick 5, or his top 5 are, his number 5 is Mario Williams. His number 4 is Alex Smith. His number 3 is Myles Garrett. His number 2 is Eli Manning. And his number 1 is Matthew Stafford.
Interesting.
Jersey Johnny's myself. My number 5 is actually, I thought about this for a while. And I have to do it because I just think between the upside and what he's done so far in the league, he deserves to be number 5 on my list. And that's Joe Burrow.
I almost put Burrow on my list too.
Joe Burrow's number 5 on my list.
I didn't know he was a number 1 overall.
He was number 1 overall.
I thought I for some reason I stopped at 2020. I don't know why.
There you go. Fair enough.
No. When was he drafted?
Oh, before he was drafted in 2019. 2019?
Yeah.
2020. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have had Burrow on that list too. I don't know why. For some reason, I read it last 20 years. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
There you go. All right. So number 5, my number 5 is Joe Burrow. My number 4, you might call me silly, but this gentleman was a damn good quarterback, and he just never had a team around him. And he did a lot of good things with the crap that he did have around him. And that would be Carson Palmer.
Okay.
Carson Palmer.
His late night show is pretty good too.
It is. It's very good. It's very good. I enjoy it very much. Yes, that's kind of always the reason why he edged out Joe Burrow there for number 4. So number 4, Carson Palmer. My number 3 is Myles Garrett. My number 2 is Matthew Stafford, and my number 1, shocker, I know, Eli Manning. So
I think Joe Burrow is going to be number 1 on this list in a couple of years. For sure.
At some point, is quite possible. I'm just, let's talk about this for a couple of seconds, but I'm just curious, Harry, why did you put Matthew Stafford? Now, stats I know, I can get it, but Eli Manning had done a lot more in his career than Matthew Stafford did.
Well, Stafford won 1 Super Bowl. Eli won 2. The reason why I had Stafford is I think he did a lot more with a lot less than Eli. And Eli had 2 really, really wonderful postseasons, but he had some shitty years as well where he just wasn't that great. And I just think if I was choosing a quarterback in their prime, and I had to be honest, I like Eli. Don't get me wrong. I think Stafford's a better quarterback. Having said all that, I'd take Joe Burrow over both of them.
There you go. But would you take Aaron?
Efrod, Francisco Rodriguez? Yeah, I take him right now.
Would you take Fraud over? Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying because we've said it for years, right? Even we're doing the show almost 3 years, and we've said it, before Matthew Stafford even went to L.A. and won a Super Bowl.
His numbers are staggering.
His numbers are ridiculously good, and
They're
you're
ridiculous.
right. He did,
and he
but,
he had Megatron for a
but
while.
he had Megatron. He did have Megatron, and Eli did not have a Megatron. All right.
No, but Eli had a much better team, and he had a better collection of receivers. He had a better tight end for a while there.
I mean, the closest Eli came to a Megatron was Plexico Burress.
Right. And Plexico was. I think that they're close. I just think Stafford. Eli was on teams that were the Eli years, especially the first, let's say, 10 years or so.
Right.
They were the Giants were a good team that put pretty good talent around him. Stafford never really had that. I mean, he was on a team where they could have the best ever at their positions, and they quit because they don't want to play for the Detroit Lions.
Right.
And I just think Stafford, one thing that Eli and Stafford both had is they were really tough, really durable. I don't know. I just think that when Matthew Stafford finally had a great team, a lot of times guys go to a great team and they can't win it all. He won it all. Now, I think he was outplayed a little bit by Joe Burrow in that game, in the Super Bowl, but I do think that overall his numbers are pretty. 64 career completion percentage, over 52,000 yards, 333 touchdowns, and 169 interceptions. I mean, that's. I don't know. I think it's close. I think it's a toss-up to some way. I just think that Stafford was more consistent. I think Eli had some bad years towards the end.
Yeah, fair enough.
And look, Eli had more yards, but he played. He's played a few more seasons. Matthew Stafford's, rating is a little higher. They're really close. I mean, they're really close. I just think that Eli's got a lot more interceptions. And I think that's probably what I hold against Eli a little bit is there were years there where he was just an interception machine.
Well, and while I agree with you on that note, keep in mind that there were a good number, certainly not all of them by far, but there were a good number of those interceptions that were the receiver's fault and not Eli.
Yeah, but he's got 80 plus more interceptions.
No, that's why I said I agree with you on that note. But and then I've said this for years. I would love to see a stat because a quarterback throws the ball right into the hands of the receiver.
No, I get it.
And the receiver drops it, and it goes flying, and the cornerback catches it and intercepts the ball. That's not the quarterback's fault, but he gets the blemish on his record. So for years I've been wanting to see some sort of a different stat for that. I mean, clearly they got to look at the play to even call the interception in the first place. They could see. I mean, it's judgment. It has to be a flagrant. It has to be clearly a catchable ball that was bobbled and screwed up by the receiver, and then it becomes a receiver interception, they're
really close. In fact, if you look at their stats, Eli's obviously played about 46 more games up until now for Stafford, but they're really close. I mean, Stafford's within 300 completions with well over 1,000 less attempts. Mm-hmm. He's got a higher completion percentage. He's within 5,000 yards of Manning, which will probably pass, this year. He's within 30 touchdowns.
Assuming he's playing.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a higher rating by at least 7 points. And like I said, a significantly less interceptions. Eli's got 2 Super Bowls. Eli Manning's numbers are way better than I think most people ever assume they are. And those 2 Super Bowl wins are not just big Super Bowl wins. They might be 2 of the biggest upsets in the history of the Super Bowl. So I give that to Eli. He's the best Giants quarterback by far to ever play the game. I just think had you put Eli on those Detroit Lions teams, I don't think he would perform as well as Stafford did. And I think Stafford would perform as well or better than Eli on those Giants teams.
Fair enough.
I'm basing this purely on speculation.
Obviously.
That's all.
So, all right.
I only gave Eli the edge because he beat the GOAT twice.
There you go.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's.
Look, not that many.
Listen, I love Matthew Stafford, and you know, the Lions are sort of one of those teams that I always kind of root for, and but you know, that's all. But yeah, it's about as close to a pure toss up as you can get.
Yeah, if I switch them tomorrow, I wouldn't second guess myself. It's just I think it's that close. Yeah. But Joe Burrow, I forgot about. For some reason, I thought Burrow was a second pick. That's why I need to do research when I.
Yeah, he's number 1.
Well, Trevor Lawrence, you know, I mean, down the road, he might be on this list.
Very possible. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, I gave it to Eli, obviously, for the 2 Super Bowl wins, for the 2 Super Bowl MVPs, for the other seasons that he had with amazing stats with the team just, you know, not even performing. I mean, he had one of his best seasons the year after the first Super Bowl. And if it wasn't, and we've said it many times, if it wasn't for an unfortunate situation that happened with Mr. Burris, I think they roller skate through that Super Bowl.
Yeah, that next year is they were a better team. I don't have Andrew Luck
for the regular season, and they were the number 1 seed in the NFL.
And I don't have Andrew Luck on there because he didn't play long enough for me. And I think he was good, but I think there was something with Luck that I don't think he had it in him to really to become a champion. But look, Alex Smith is on there for his longevity. Yeah. He's nowhere near the single season or stat machine that Eli or Matthew Stafford is, but you know, again, he had a long career, and he certainly did well. You know, I'm surprised that he was the number 1 pick. I forgot that.
There you go. All right. Anything else on these?
But Burt Blyleven would be definitely.
Burt Blyleven would be number 1 on my list.
He would make this list.
Yeah, absolutely. So. All right, and we don't have an old balls, right? You have no old balls tonight?
No old balls this week. These guys are too young. You're drafted from 2000. Your balls are not old yet.
All right.
Well,
they're getting there.
I just want to make a quick case for the guy that neither of you guys had in the area. I saw you shake your hand, and Andrew Luck when his name came up. And I understand he doesn't have longevity on his side, but the guy was goddamn good.
He was.
No, he really was. I mean, he only played 86 games. You know, he threw for 23,000 yards, 171 touchdowns, 83 interceptions, so more than 2-1. And the guy got sacked 174 times. And it's unfortunate that his body just couldn't take it. But Andrew Luck was a really good quarterback.
You're right. Yeah, I'm not saying he wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't have the longevity. It's unfortunate. But, you know, I think he was a really, really great pick for Indianapolis. And they did him dirty. They never did right by him. So that's why I put him on my list.
Fair enough. And, yeah, that is very true. That is very true. And what was I going to say? The only other, we all had Myles Garrett on our list.
Yeah.
The only other non-quarterback to make a list was Harry's, and that was Mario Williams.
Which I think people forget about. You know, defensive end. I mean, when was the last time we had a defensive player go number 1? I mean, it's been a while, right? Yeah. Oh no, wait.
Myles Garrett.
Well, no, Jadeveon Clowney.
Myles Garrett was after Jadeveon Clowney.
Well, no, just 2 years ago or last year. what's his name go
Oh,
first?
last year, Trayvon Walker. Yeah.
Oh,
Trayvon
Trayvon Walker, right.
But I mean, Williams played. He played 158 games and had 98 sacks, 317 solo tackles. I mean, he was really, really good there. I think he was kind of off the radar because he played for Houston and then Buffalo before Buffalo became, kind of a household name again. But he's one of those guys who I think was a game changer, and I think I had to put him on here because I think what he did was impactful, and he was a number one pick. His career wasn't super long, but 10 years, had 1 year where he only played 5 games and he played 16 or 13 the rest of the time. And he was pretty consistent. I mean, he had a number of years there where he had 14, 12, 9, 9, 5, 10 and a half, 13, 14 and a half sacks. You don't really get people with that many sacks that consistently anymore.
No, you don't.
Right. So, and he wasn't just a sack guy. I mean, he had a lot of tackles,
Yep.
So 317 solo tackles.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a lot. That's over 30 solo tackles a year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
and
2 a game.
It's funny.
It's a lot for D. I mean, yeah.
If you compare his numbers with Garrett's, and obviously Garrett doesn't have the same number of games, but the trajectory is he's got, what does he have, like 70 something sacks?
Garrett's also just a game changer. He's one of those guys who's lived up to the hype without a doubt.
Yep.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah,
he's
I think he gets short-sighted. I mean, for years we've talked about Aaron Donald and other players as the best defensive player in football. I think you got to relook at that a little bit now and say, Myles Garrett, he's been pretty damn good for a number of years now.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Been very, very good.
Very good for a lot of years, yeah. All right. And no old balls tonight. So, yeah, that brings us to non-sports, just a quickie.
Ooh, the non-sports.
We have a non-sports, just a quickie. Which you know what? Let's not do a non-sports, just a quickie. Let's not.
Are we going to do it?
Well, no, because I have another question I want to ask you, and we'll leave that one off. We'll
so
do
many
that next time. So we'll do another MLB, just a quickie. We'll do another MLB, just quickie. I got your question right here. I got your question right here.
Right here, pal.
All right. Who is your most hated player in Major League Baseball all time? Pete, we'll start with you on this one.
The guy I hated the most?
Guy, your most hated MLB player ever. Who's your most hated MLB player ever?
That's a tough one. Because I don't hate. It's not my thing.
All right. I mean, you're most disliked. Whoever you
I'm being sarcastic. There's no one more hate-filled in the world than me. Who leaves the worst taste in
your mouth? Right, exactly. Who would that be?
I'll say
there's so many to choose from for you, huh?
I don't know. Like I'm trying to. I'm sort of reevaluating now. Like, why did I hate that guy so much?
Mm-hmm. Who will it
and I mean, it's like guys like the steroid users. I don't necessarily hate them. They're just cheaters, Yeah. Like, I hate that guy because he cheated.
Yeah, I'm shocked you didn't just immediately say Roger Clemens. But
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's why that was my first thought. But I'm like, I mean, I do hate Roger Clemens, but he never really did anything to me.
All right. Well, who
You know,
who of any MLB player did anything directly to you?
well,
right?
you know, I mean, it's not like he has a.
I mean, there was that one weekend with Kevin Euclid, so that wasn't good. You know?
That's true. That was
Yeah,
bad.
no,
That was a bad
that's-
weekend. That was a bad weekend.
I mean, he did, you know, throw the bat in the World Series. Yeah, I guess I got to go Clemens.
All right. Roger Rocket.
Yeah, I guess I got to go Rocket.
All right. Harry, who's your most hated player in Major League Baseball history?
Number one is easy, Pedro Martinez.
Pedro.
And number two is the guy which I wish Clemens would have shoved the bat up his ass, pulled it out his mouth, and lit him on fire. And that was your beautiful Mike Piazza. I don't know why, just always fucking hated the guy.
So 2 Mets are your most hated players of all time.
Well, Pedro Martinez, I think of more as a
The Red Sox, I know.
but yes.
I know. Well, there you go.
I would say my number 2 actually is a Met. Can you guess which one? Not
Jason,
the one you.
Jason Bay.
No, it's not Jason Bay.
Well, give us a general.
He was a pitcher.
It's gonna. What's that?
He was a pitcher.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say
Armando Benitez.
Yeah, Benitez.
Who is the guy who you guys always
Beltran.
Beltran. That's what I thought you were gonna say. Yeah.
But I think I hate Benitez more than Beltran.
I hate Benitez more than Beltran. Yeah, if I had to include Mets, if I was going to include Mets on this, I definitely would include Armando Benitez. Absolutely.
And you know who's up there?
I'd put Carlos Beltran on this as well. But hold on, let me give you mine.
Oh yeah,
and then we'll have discussion.
Yeah.
Give you mine.
I want to ask who's your current.
That's true. Fair enough. Well, I'll give you my all-time, and then we'll go on to that. My all-time, John Rocker.
Oh yeah, that's easy.
John Rocker.
That's a good
one. What a piece of shit.
Well, literally.
Right. Yeah. There you go. All right. Fair enough. There you go. That's mine. All right. So back to current. What were you saying, Harry? Go for
it. The current player that I hate more than anybody else in baseball right now is Josh Donaldson. Only because Gary Sanchez is out of baseball.
There you go. Well, that's for a lot of other reasons too. That's not
right.
Right.
But yeah, my anger has turned inward.
That's justified, I think.
Yes.
So now let me ask you, Harry. You said Pedro Martinez. Is that just because he was a Boston Red Sox player? How do you say that?
I think he was an asshole.
We talked about this. Like, is he a Boston Red Sox? Is he a Boston Red Sox? Is he? Because it's an X, right? Is it a Red Sox, right? So
he's a Red Sox player.
Red Sox player, right? That's my point. So if there's no S on the end, that you can't depluralize it and make it singular, he's a Red Sox player. You got to add
Red Sox player,
right? So anyway, or did the day he got in the fight with
Don Zimmer
that
sealed it? I just always number one. Let me, he was great. Yeah. Okay, I'll also probably put him up there top 5 pitchers of all time. He just he was dirty. He was greasy and dirty and an asshole. And I fucking can't stand listening to him try to speak English during fucking baseball commentary either. So I continue to hate him. So he's just right there in my face all the time as a reminder. But no, he was dirty. He was a dirty player. And if he was on the Yankees, I'd probably fucking love him. But he wasn't. And I just fucking hate him. I just hate him. He's just an instigative little prick. And I'll say that to his face. I just don't like him. And I think he's a horrible commentator. An absolutely horrible commentator. I don't think he knows anything about the game anymore. But you put him and Big Poppy on together, and it's just like, all right.
Well, all righty.
Fantastic.
Pete, you have a current player you dislike?
I don't know.
No. Yes. Maybe.
Meh.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a current player that I very much dislike. John Rocker. He doesn't beat John Rocker, but I dislike this particular player. I've disliked this particular player for many years since he was on the team he was on before the team he's on now. and that would be
Okay.
Mr. Bryce. That would be Mr. Bryce Harper.
I thought you were going to say Jose Altuve.
Why do you hate Bryce Harper?
He rubbed me the wrong way years ago.
I kind of hate him too. I
Yeah,
kind of
when-
hate him too.
when he was
That
in
stupid headband.
Washington. Yeah. Just no. It's all about Bryce Harper. That's what it's about. That kind of thing.
Again, though, if he was
For
on
Bryce
your
Harper,
team-
not for me. It's for
if he
Bryce
was
Harper.
on your team, you'd be like, man, he's all right.
Of course, I'd love the hell out of him. Of course, I would.
Yeah.
But it's just like everybody used to say. Like I couldn't stand a Dallas player back in the day, right? But what if he's on your team? Oh, I'd love
Sorry.
it. There's only one that does not fit that bill, and
Yeah,
I
I know
would
who that
never
is.
want to see Zeke Elliott come to the
Yeah,
Giants. Ever,
everybody
ever,
hates him.
Ever.
The biggest Dallas fans hate. I think his mother hates him.
There you
Especially
go. All right.
now that he's unemployed.
Right.
That's right. Freeloader.
There you go. All right.
This just in, the Giants signed Ezekiel Elliott to a 4-year contract.
This just in the
Saquon Barkley's holding out.
This just in. John becomes a Jets fan.
Giants wanted a little insurance for
That's
the
right.
Barkley holdout.
Giants have just traded Saquon Barkley to the Dallas Cowboys for Ezekiel Elliott and 15 first-round draft picks.
Well, then it might not be that bad.
Yeah.
As long as they don't play him, he can sit on the sidelines and eat real food. No, that's it. Just
That's right.
keep eating
That's
soup or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Yeah. Do we have an over under tonight?
We do not have an over under tonight.
Don't have an over under tonight. So we have reached the end of the show. Then
All righty. Under an hour.
Let's wrap it up.
let's wrap it
Oh,
up.
actually,
Oh, damn.
So close. So close.
so close. We all love baseball and the NFL and the NHL and all that stuff.
Mhm.
So this is a football thing because if you want to, look, technology is great. We can see any game we want at any time as long as we're willing to pay for it, right?
Mhm, sure.
Well, the NFL Sunday Ticket is moving from DirecTV, I guess, to
Direct
YouTube.
TV, to YouTube. Yep.
Moving to YouTube TV.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how much it was before, but YouTube TV's NFL Sunday Ticket add-on for the 2023 NFL season, $349.
Mhm.
If you want to add the Red Zone, it's $389. $40 for the Red Zone.
Which is cheap because I pay.
Which used to be free.
I
Used to be, well, not free,
I
but
pay
part
more-
of basic cable.
I pay more than Red Zone wasn't.
Yeah, it was part of basic cable for me.
Maybe a while ago. Yeah, but now I pay for it every
3 or 4
year.
years ago. Yeah.
I pay for it every year, and it's actually like 30. Now it's 20 something dollars, but it's an add-on just for 4 months, and it includes some other channels too that nobody ever watches, right? So that's why
Right.
they get you to pay a little bit more. But I think it's like just for the Red Zone alone would be $15. So, and it's 4 months. So it's September, October, November, December, and January too. It's 5 months. I'm sorry. So $40 as opposed to $75 if you look at it that way. So it's actually saving money that way. But no, I hear what you're saying. I'm not sure what.
Did you have to have a dish
No.
to get the direct?
Yeah.
The direct
Yeah.
that you did.
Now that's on top of the $73 a month for the YouTube subscription.
Is that how
Right.
much YouTube TV is? Because I only have YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube TV is $72.99 a month.
That sounds
And if you
expensive.
get the Sunday, Now, if you don't have the YouTube TV subscription, you can still get the NFL Sunday Ticket through the YouTube Primetime channels, $449 per season, rather.
Per season, right?
$450 if you don't want to get the YouTube TV.
Well, how much was the lower price if you have YouTube?
Which is why I just go to the bars on Sunday during football season.
It's $349.
So it's
or
here.
$389 with the Red Zone.
I'll tell you right now, it's going to be. It's $50 and change more than it was on DirecTV. DirecTV was $293.94, $293.94 a season. So it's up $56.
So what's the?
But you get one more game.
That's true.
The
And if you want add the NFL Red Zone without the YouTube subscription, that's $40 more. So $489.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you sign up for the NFL Sunday Ticket before June 6th,
Mm-hmm.
you can get $100 off your subscription.
So it's $350. So it's only $250.
Right.
So if you
Plus the $73 a month, which you wouldn't get that just for 4 months.
Well, no, you have to subscribe to that. You can. I believe YouTube TV is like there's no contract, right? You can get YouTube TV, and then when I'm not 100% sure on this, but I'm pretty sure that you can get it, and then whenever if you don't want it anymore, I'm done, and then just cancel.
So maybe then that's 70. Let's call it $73. Well, the NFL season is 6 months long.
Well, you don't. Yeah, but you don't need it for the playoffs. So you need it.
That's true.
You need it in September through. You need it for 5 months. Unfortunately, half of January is on there too. So you need it.
That's another. So you're better off actually paying like the $449 rather than the $349 plus the $73 for 5 months.
Yeah,
that's another
extra $100. And if you do it before June, whatever you said, it's only $350. Because it's $100 off.
It's still expensive though.
Still expensive, but I'm saying if you're going to do it, obviously do it then, and get the higher one. Don't get the YouTube TV. But people that already have YouTube TV, if they get it,
you can get it for $250.
If they do it before June. Would you say June?
Well, it'll be $289 if you want the red zone.
Yes, folks.
Which you have to have the red zone.
It is May. Yes, it is May.
I said before June. I said not May.
I know.
June.
I'm saying it's May, and we're talking about
May,
football.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying
all roads lead to football.
Right. You got a little more than a month to save that $100.
There you go.
That's right.
Well, my point is, if you just get it without the YouTube and the red zone, you can pay almost $500 just to watch football.
Right.
That seems a bit much.
Seems a bit excessive. Well, but think about this though. If there's multiple games you want to watch every Sunday, right? Think about this. There's multiple games you want to watch every Sunday, right? And you're definitely going to watch them. Like you're to the point where you'll go out to a bar. You'll go out to a bar to watch these games. Okay. Think about how much money you're going to spend all 18 weeks.
Right. You're going to spend at least $75 a day at the bar.
Right.
Yeah.
So
plus you get the four-screen thing and I don't know.
Foreskin?
The foreskin. Yeah, you get to watch foreskins simultaneously.
Okay. But at the bar you get to hang around with drunk Bears fans watching the one TV in the corner screaming at Justin Fields. That's priceless.
That is priceless. That's pretty fun. You can't put a price on that. So, all right. Yeah, you're right. It's expensive, but people will do it. People will
sign up early.
People do it.
Well,
make your decision in the next month.
How many games do you really watch? Maybe 4 or 5, right? I mean, do you really flip through every game? If you're watching the red zone, you do. But how many games do you really watch in a weekend?
I pay for the red zone, and I have 2 TVs on. I watch the Giants. I watch whatever other game is on, and I watch the red zone. That's what I do.
And then you watch and then you watch that again with the later games or the early games.
The later games,
the opposite. So let's say 4. Let's average it out to 5, right? 5 games maybe a week.
5 games. 5 games.
What's 17 times? What's 17 times 5?
With the
80,
the weeks. It's 18. It's 18 weeks actually. It's 18 weeks. 17 games.
Yeah.
So 18
times 5 is
it's $90.
90 games divided by, what did you say? 330.
450. Well, it'll be 350 if you get it before June, whatever.
350.
350. So you're paying $3.88 a game.
There you go.
But those games are on broadcast TV.
Some of them, but I can't watch the Giants if I want to.
Right.
Well, that's the thing. Like, how many out of market games are you really? You know what I mean? You always watch your locals.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, I would say about half the season, I go to the bar, and it's good if the Broncos are on late. I go early because the Giants are usually on the early time here, and they'll have the Giants game on one TV. They'll have six. Sometimes I go to a place that has all the games on, so you can just sit there and kind of pick and choose what you want to watch, and then usually I hang around for the first half of the next games, and and then leave. But for me, if I want to watch the Giants, which sometimes I don't want to, I have to pay for it one way or the other. I wish there was just an on-demand service where you could just pay per game, and they sort of
the game
had that.
You want to.
Yeah, but it was way more expensive. It's still cheaper to get the whole package.
Sure.
Yep.
So,
yeah. Because if you look at it like that, okay, it's $350, right? But if you're doing it over the course of 5 months, right? If you set it like this, right? If you get it, but it did the $100 discount, right? $350 divided by 5. If somebody told you it's $70 a month and you can watch all the games you want, you can watch your out-of-market games, you can watch your Giants out in Denver, you can watch this, you can watch that, $70 a month. All right. Or even go as far as to tell you it's $17.50 a week.
Well, right.
If somebody said $17.50 a week, you can watch your Giants games, you can watch a few other games and have at it. It's
right. But are you adding in the YouTube subscription for those?
No. The $350. I said if you get it before June, when you get the $100 discount.
Right, but you still have to pay to get the $350. You have to pay for the YouTube subscription.
No, you said that it's $350 plus the YouTube subscription, but if you buy it before June, whatever the date was, it's $100 off. So the higher one without the YouTube subscription, the $450 or whatever it was, if you get that before June 1st, it's $100 off too, or no?
Oh, okay, I see. It just says, it says you get $100 off your subscription
to the football.
It doesn't say whether it's the football subscription or the YouTube subscription. I assume it's the football subscription.
It's got to be the football. So it would be that one. So, but my point is, if somebody said to you, "Hey, you could watch every Giant game and all the other games if you want, have at it for $17 a week during the season," would you do it?
Yeah, probably. The thing is too, and I hate to admit this, there are weeks where I don't watch any games except maybe the Sunday night or Monday night game. I'm not home, especially early on in the year. I'm out of the house and I'm not really necessarily watching football if it's not
right.
It's so exciting. I like the red zone though. The red zone is kind of addictive, and I feel like it's not the best way to watch football. I feel like it's football for. I feel very.
It's fantasy. It's fantasy football.
It's fantasy football
right.
Viewing. Yeah, right. Exactly. So yeah, I agree with you though. So yeah, no, I probably would do that too. But fortunately, my team, it's local and I can watch it, so I don't have to worry about that. And then occasionally, if I want to go grab another game or whatever, I have the red zone, so I watch that.
Right.
Do something I want to check in on while I'm watching whatever other game, or and then I go out once or twice. It's fine. But anyway.
Yeah, I guess if you're a loyal, I guess like anything else, if you're a loyal viewer, then it's worth
And how much does that play into Jess's willingness to work on Sundays?
It's hard. A little bit.
What I'm saying is that she probably wants to get shifts at the bar on Sundays just to not be at home.
It's hard to keep her home. That's my point, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So anyway, but if the Jets are playing though, then all bets are off. So
imagine having to pay to watch the Jets, but this year, there's going to be a lot of Green Bay fans paying for this package to watch Aaron Rodgers.
And they have a lot of they have more than they've had in many years primetime games between Thursday night, Monday night, Sunday night games in the better slots. 4:00, 4:30 games on Sundays. They're national games, so yeah, they're going to be more relevant this year. So interesting. All right, we good?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, and no over under, right?
Nope.
All right. On that note, we will wrap the show up for today. We want to thank everybody for watching. And for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thank you for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.getonwithitpodcast.com. That's getonwithitpodcast.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just search for the Get On With It podcast. And of course, all of our shows are available on YouTube as well on the Logger Room channel. Remember, we go live with a video podcast on both Facebook and YouTube every Wednesday night around 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And for those of you who just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcasts, and iHeartRadio as well. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds, and you will never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. And we will talk to you soon, folks. Take care. Cheers.
Bye, everybody.
Brought to you by YouTube Television. YouTube Television for all your NFL needs.